Hello stock traders, I hope all of you had a great trading day today. Today I had a pretty good one. I finished with a 1.1% gain. I did not do a lot of intraday trading, but I'll just kind of talk about that here in just a moment. Today, if you were following the top 7 and others from the last video, then you would have had a 0.37% loss. There was one specific stock that did really terribly, and so I'm going to kind of talk about that here in just a little bit. Month to date, that would put you at a 1.92% gain, and you might be thinking, well, that's not that great, but the Dow Jones Industrial for the month of September is down 7.73%. So that is a little over 9% better than the market. Year to date, I am at 458% return. So I'm very happy with those results, and I'm expecting the same things, and I'll just keep on doing the same strategies because they work. So today's day trade picks. So my first day trade pick this morning, really early, I picked OXBR. Now this was a fantastic pick actually because it began to run and run and run and run. It had a portion of the day where it was up over 600%. So if you were part of that, you should have been able to make really good money off that pick. You could just watch it for momentum and just buy in on momentum and look for those 3 green bars and for the red EMA line to pass above the SMA line. You probably have no idea what I'm talking about. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, please check out the day trade video that I have. That's something kind of to check out. It kind of gives an overview of how I like to buy and sell. Another pick that I had for the day was SHLL, had a very good day, and PLL also had a fantastic day. Those were my 3 day trading picks, and those are usually out by about 7 a.m. Central. So that's really cool. I like to use Webull for my intraday trading and also my short ideas and my bearish ideas. I like to use it just overall as a broker because there's lots of powerful tools on there, and I love how it works and how it's laid out. If you're looking for a broker or you're curious about Webull and what they have to offer, please check it out in the description down below. You get 1 free stock when you sign up and another when you deposit money. All right, so I have 2 sales to report for the day. Both of these were fantastic picks from the top 7. That was the last video that was recorded. That was actually for Monday. And I sold NVIDIA, NVDA, for a 6% gain. So that's a great investment over 3 days. Then I sold VER for a 6.2% gain. And if you are part of the Patreon group, you would get about the same entry point that I had and probably get very close results because I have certain rules that we follow. It's a great thing to check out. Please check that out in the description down below. Okay, so I got a lot of questions throughout the beginning of the day about EIGR, EIGR. So EIGR Pharmaceuticals really dropped due to news that their Lambda showed no effect in mild COVID-19 patients. You know, this is not why I bought the stock in the first place, and so I saw it down this morning and I thought, oh, not a big deal. It's down 6%. And I thought it had already kind of hit its bottom. Well, it did not, and it continued to drop, and it got over 20% down in a portion of the day. Had a nice little recovery and then dropped again. So I think that, you know, it's still on track for its PDUFA run-up, so I did keep it, and it really hurt my portfolio today. Hopefully it didn't hurt you too bad either, or that if you saw the news early enough, you were able to get out. But I still think it's going to be a very strong stock, so it's definitely worth holding. All right, well, let's get to the top 7 and others because there are so many great stocks to cover. And the first one I'm going to cover is what I just mentioned before, and that's EIGR Pharmaceuticals. So today it finished down 19.51%. My average in it is $9.54, and they have a November 20th PDUFA date, and it is a priority review PDUFA date, so I like those. Analysts like this stock a lot. They have a target on it of $27.67. I really believe it was a ridiculous overreaction to the news today. Anyway, I thought it was a long shot anyway for the COVID stuff. That is not why I bought it in the first place. And EIGR Pharmaceuticals has also had recent insider activity, so that's really great too. All right, the next that's not in the top 7 is ZSAN, ZSAN. Today it finished down 2.35%. My average in it's $1.35. This is Zosana Pharma, and they have an October 20th PDUFA date, and it's for Qtrypta. It's a migraine medicine. It's very, very marketable, so I think that this is going to be a powerful run-up. Analysts like this stock also because they have an average analyst target of $4.33, and I think it's going to be really good. So it's definitely one to have and to hold until we get closer to PDUFA date. The next is KALA, Kala Pharmaceuticals. Today it finished up 2.44%. My average in it is $8.00. $3.81. And Kala Pharma has a PDUFA date of October 30th, so it's still a little ways away. It's the only reason why it's not the top 7. And it is for Elsuvis, which is a dry eye disease medication. So that's very good. Also, analysts like this stock a lot. There's a big discrepancy. Some analyst targets are as low as $10, but most of them are much higher. And so the average analyst target is $20.80. And so I think it's going to be a great run-up stock. Now, these run-up stocks, if you are thinking, I'm thinking to hold them through PDUFA decision date, you would be very, very wrong. I never, ever recommend holding one of these stocks through the PDUFA through the FDA decision. Even if it gets approved, a lot of bad things that can happen to the stock. Yes, it could go ballistic, but it's literally gambling. So don't blame me if you held through it. I call these PDUFA run-up stock. All right, the next is SPPI, and this is Spectrum Pharma. Today it finished down 1.51%. My average in it is $4.01. And they have an October 24th PDUFA date, and it's for Rolantis, which is a chemotherapy drug. Analysts have high expectations for this stock at $10.42 is the average analyst target. And the last one that's not in the top 7 is SAVA. So Cassavia Sciences. Today it finished down 2.70%. This has been a great stock for us. This is an insider swing play, and my average in it's $10.01, so I'm sitting pretty on it. Remy Barber, the CEO, bought up shares just a couple days ago, but also a director and CFO. And I love it when multiple officers go in on a stock. It typically means something great is about to happen. It hasn't happened yet. The stock has climbed in price, definitely, on anticipation of something good, but so far, no news. So that's the only reason why it's not in the top 7. All right, now let's get to the top 7 list, and let's cover all of those. So the very first one in the top 7 list is brand new to the list. And this is a very fresh insider. So if you're looking to get in on one on the ground floor, really close to like what happens with our Patreon group, they get notified all the time because we have a Discord group that's attached to it. And I send out notifications immediately when there's insider activity. And this is one that I did a call out today on, and this is PBF. Today it finished up 3.08%, and my average in it is $6.07, brand new to the list. And the reason why I like it is because the CEO bought shares at $5.92, and earnings is tomorrow morning. And the other reason why I like it is because not only is earnings tomorrow morning, but the insider transaction was reported the same day. And that is not common. So it was really neat to see a CEO make sure and get that in before earnings so that all investors who were paying attention could have the opportunity to load up on that. And so that's really good. And so earnings are tomorrow morning. I'm expecting good things. Usually earnings are something I don't like to hold through, but when there's insider activity right before, I feel rather confident that they are going to have a good result. All right, number 6 is HOME. Today this finished up 0.64%. My average in it's $14.11. And we have a CEO purchase, and this is the original reason why I wanted to go in on this, at $14.31. Well, today a director purchased, this is on Monday today at $14.05. So now we have multiple officers that are in on the stock, and so starting to think something's up here. So I think this is a really good stock to load up on that has not climbed very far since I announced the insider activity as being significant. So I think this is a stock that could really climb. This next one, number 5, is KIRK. KIRK is moving up a little bit on the list here. It finished up 2.35%. My average in it is $8.05. And Wilson Orr III, director, bought shares, and a few other officers bought shares in small amounts in the last couple of weeks. The reason why I like this is because today the market was up because of possible economic hopes. And KIRK being retail, I think this is a stock that could really, really climb on such news. And so I like it for that reason, and I like how insiders are going in on it. So I think this is going to be a good one for a little while. Probably going to wait until it has a bad day before I decide to get out of it. But as long as it continues to climb each and every day, I'm not inclined to sell it. So I think that KIRK is going to be a good one for the next couple days at least. Number 4 is TCON, TCON. Today this finished up 11.02%. This is brand new to the list. Did a call out immediately in our Patreon group on this. My average in it's $5.10. And the president and CEO and Opele Management both bought shares, and it was very promising. They spent a good amount of money. And there's been a lot of loading up on this even after it's climbed over 100% so far this year. And so I think TCON Pharmaceuticals is going to do really, really well in the upcoming days. All right, now let's get to the top 3. Here we go. Top 3. Number 3 is FBIO, Fortress Bios. I like this because it has an upcoming October 10th PDUFA date. So that is right around the corner. Today it did finish down 2.48%. My average in it's $3.85. And there's been a lot of people talking about this stock today because the CFO sold a minuscule amount of shares. She had a lot more shares than that and just sold a little bit. And so I was not that concerned to see that sell. One thing you have to understand with insider activity is officers sell for all kinds of reasons. They can sell because they're buying a home. They can sell for all kinds of things. It doesn't necessarily mean that they think something bad is happening with the stock. And it was the only officer that did so. So I just don't see that as being a bad thing. Their PDUFA date is for Tramadol, which is a post-operative pain drug. So it's extremely marketable. And analysts have a target on this of $9.80. So there is plenty of room to run. And I expect it to do just that, especially as we get going into next week. All right, number 2. This has been fantastic since we've added it on the list. This is the stock that no one pays attention to. You go to Stocktwits, it's like tumbleweeds rolling across, but this is VOXX International, VOXX. It finished up 4.74% today. It's been up day after day after day. If you have not been paying attention, this is the time to pay attention. My average in it is $6.42 because we called this out, gosh, 2 weeks ago. This has been on the list for 2 weeks and no one seems to pay attention. And the reason why I've been excited about it is because Collie Holding continues to buy shares in this company. And today, for the 13th business day in a row, Collie Holding loaded up shares early this morning. And it makes the stock jump because it's a low volume stock and there's just money coming in. There's no money going out. No one is selling. And I think that this stock is really going to move upwards. As long as that insider activity continues, I expect this stock to pass $10 a share, especially if that continues. And there's been a history of Collie Holding buying over a long period of time before. So earlier this year, they went 3 months where they bought every business day. So it looks a lot the same as before. And so I'm very confident it's going to continue to move up. Number 1. And this is another stock. I don't know why there aren't more people talking about this, but Safehold. Yes, I know it's a small real estate land lease company. Today it was up 8.66%. No surprise to me because there's been 34 business days in a row of insider activity by iStar. Last year this happened and there were 134 days in a row that they had insider activity. My average in it's $54.25. This stock is going to be over $100 eventually and you're going to be really, really sad you didn't buy it in the 50s or the early 60s, which is where it's starting to get now. But I've been talking about this stock for a little over a month. It's been on the list. So hopefully you've gotten it and you're enjoying this write-up. Definitely the only way you mess up this stock is by selling it. Until the insider activity stops, I would not sell it. I would not recommend that. Anyway, I do a lot of work for this list, so if you could do me a huge favor and please hit that most amazing and wonderful like button. Also, if you're seeing me for the first time or you like what I have to say and how this list is put together and you haven't done so before, please subscribe and turn on those bell notifications so you get notified when one of these new videos comes out. I started this whole thing in order to help investors and people looking for a plan, and I hope I've been of help to you. And I enjoy talking with all those members that support me on the Discord and also with Patreon. So very much appreciate that. Let's have a fantastic trading day tomorrow, and Raythoven out.